now, it's only going to get all the more tough from here on in.
Absolutely, and these teams, they need to get a Karakin on with getting these points on board during these matches. Trying to earn themselves a little bit more money, a little bit more of those in-game rewards for themselves. Alpha 7, you know, they're way ahead of everyone else in terms of points overall. 111 at the top, goodness me. Good stuff from them. But we're heading over towards Karakin, a very, very small map with, you know, quite minor compounds towards the center. So a lot of these edge drops around the coastal side we'll be able to loot up a little bit. We saw some cheeky stuff yesterday with teams heading directly into the tunnels and kind of snaking out towards the end. But you're not earning the big points like the most eliminations over here from Revo as well as Carrillo. 5 ahead of the third place of Never Alone there with 14. But already, we're getting a little bit of a hot drop going on across the map.
Seems like there's 2 groups of teams right now over on the north side. I think S2G rerouted away from that 7C BTR engagement on the north side. As we do hop on in on the east side as well, you've got R8 and Rod seemingly quite close to each other. Enigma Galaxy split around the Deadeyes guys as well, maybe looking to get inside those tunnels. At the moment, looks like R8 might be looking for the first elimination. Get a little bit more money on the cards. I mean, they were set at the bottom here, and look at that, 2K. They've doubled their earnings so far, and if they keep going, they might be able to get that 7K total from that first team elimination.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy there. Just picking up a lot of money off the back of it, but already it's Deadeyes guys and Enigma Galaxy who are also taking a fight on. You can see on your screens right now, Chari, who's been fairly fantastic for Deadeyes guys during the Afterparty Showdown. Starts things off strong for them, but look at that, it's popping off all over the place. We can barely keep up with it.
Okay, BTR pushing in, DBS in hand for the forefront. Nicely done. Off angle for Genforce as well. BTR moving through well right now. 7C, not really getting too much to hold off. Spray God needs to hold the stairway. Gets one, but traded off. Beautiful result for Liquid as he can now start up that res, getting that flush as well. The team elimination came through from Stalwart in the meantime. Plenty of fights going on across the map, but Bigatron still on this push.
One of the big hitters in S2G already going down. Zuxi, though, just surrounding them. Molotovs that sent through. Try and stop the push, but Genforce has got a pretty good idea where this player is. Underneath, now we'll relay that information back. Aladdin's in a tough spot. Will drop the shot, though. And that'll be him out, but immediately there's a refrag there. BTR are with it this game.
Greedy, greedy, greedy there. Aladdin succumbs. And will get traded off. Sarang, though, last player standing for 7C. Door shut in his face. Maybe looking for this res, but out comes Zuxi. It's taken care of. Not quite good for the second. Liquid is going to be able to clutch this one. Now, all 4 of BTR stay alive.
Quickly get the reses back on board, but it's Stalwart 4 eliminations and BTR with the same. So 2 team eliminations there. Stalwarts will still hold the most team eliminations title for the current time. Considering it's based on time, whoever gets it first will hold on to that little place on the podium right at the top. Vampire Esports trying to bring things back. Had a great game there on Vikendi. Some really interesting plays that they pulled through. I think Schweppes jumping into the water. You know, as an info play, it was good, but I think he took things a little bit too far. Even so, Stone and the rest of the team were able to back him up and take that victory home for them. But now it's Stalwart versus Vampire Esports, hoping to get a little bit of revenge for what happened in the PMWI. I think everyone was thinking that Stalwart was going to really be right at the top in terms of the standings, but Vampire Esports came out of nowhere and just continued blasting in that tournament.
I'm not too sure what happened to S2G there. Did they go down first? I thought they'd managed to get the first team elimination, but I think I was mistaken on that.
No, they were the first team elimination.
Oh, well, that's the opposite.
Felled by Stalwart.
Ah, okay, right, okay. That's fair enough. To be fair, S2G have had a lot of money so far. I think they were at 50K at the start of this game.
Yeah.
They are doing absolutely fine for themselves. So, you know, spread the wealth. Share
exactly. You know what they say, sharing is caring. Like so, all these teams hoping to take home a little bit of brass by the end of it. Should be very nice to add to their totals, especially the teams that did qualify directly from the PMWI, our top 5 from there. And it is BTR who starts this game off very strong, but it's Stalwart who have remained consistent, I would say, throughout both tournaments. They're still yet to be at the top, and with the current streak that Alpha 7's on right now, This team is looking good, but Stoned, as I say that, will knock one of the players from Stalwart. Very, very long shot, though, so unlikely they'll be able to flush that.
Action seemingly the one to move. Top on the far side. Very, very resible there. Will just slow them down on the northwestern side. The circle really not posing a threat to anyone right now. Alpha 7, no one really in front of them at this stage. Should be pretty much a vibe. Rad, with only one player left, though, potentially getting pushed on. Was that another knock onto Action? That was the guy going for the res onto top. Now Scry has to reposition. Pika's there left. The last person trying to suppress this angle. Excellent hold from Vampire Esports.
Deja vu, I think I've been in this place before. Scry tries to head up to get the rest, but Stone's having absolutely none of it. Take some shots. And at this point in time, you're kind of calling back to the boys saying, I think it's not likely they're able to scale up to the top side there. And, you know, even though they're so clearly in range, Stoned is just got some insane oversight.
Pika needs to suppress the straight line, but with only the red dot, that's going to be hard shots to hit. Apparently, not that hard though for Pika. Already nailing one over towards Schweppes. Going to have to backing up, get that heal off. Top flushed, Action flushed. They are going to go down. Vampire Esports add 2 to the tally.
Yeah, Pika tries to jiggle it out there, but I think with the punishment that Scry suffered before, he wasn't likely to go for it again. But Ravenclaw, you saw him before in that fight, making the long run to a big off angle. Did in the last game of Vikendi, slightly less of an off angle there, but this one is absolutely insane. What a wild sprint this man has made.
Incredible. Really, really solid. I think this is a suppressor on the front of the rifle as well, which is going to mean it would be a little bit harder to figure out exactly where that's coming from. Although these teams will have their wits about them. They'll certainly know a general direction.
Now for 7. Also taking shots down towards Deadeye's guys. I think for all these games, they are the ones not to be messed with here. In the Afterparty Showdown, looking to rack up even more cash for themselves. You know, we may say sharing is caring, but it does feel like Alpha 7 would like the lion's share to themselves. Sure, they might hand out a couple of freebies, but for the most part, it's theirs.
Handing out plenty of L's, though, for a couple of these teams. Deadeye's guys take one themselves. Alpha 7, though, they did lose Revo in the process. Vampire, in the meantime, on the western side of this next circle, looking to take care of Stalwart, and that will be the end of them. Vampire Esports pick up a team elimination. They are looking to get a little bit more. Bigatron at their western side might prove to be tricky if they don't know they're there, but they should be able to scout this one. It looks like Bigatron know this position's going through. Is this the exact situation that Stalwart were in against Vampire Esports? Let's see if the tune has changed.
You do like the Vampire Esports essentially, and now taking up the exact same position. BTR are going to take up Vampire's spot. And again, it really is deja vu today. I feel like maybe I'm going slightly insane. We'll see if BTR can do the same efficient work towards them. But there are shots sent back. Fluketh will be knocked by Zuxi, though.
No answering knocks as well. And now, I mean, how does this keep happening? You'd have thought that something would have figured out. 2 smokes bloomed. They are a lot closer together than Stalwart were, which means that these reses potentially a little bit better. They also don't have the massive Ravenclaw off angle that was available to Vampire Esports to stop those reses earlier.
Yeah, that really cut down Stalwart in their tracks. Stone there, running around as fast as possible on the swivel. I hope he's, you know, greased up the soles on those shoes so he can be swiftly sliding from left to right, because he will need to in that smoke. And now even Alpha 7 are taking a chunk out of them. Goodness me, Vampire Esports, you should have known that spot was bad when you took apart Stalwart the way you did.
Need to figure out how to escape from this area, right?
Yeah.
You need to disengage from this engagement. It is not going well right now. Unless they can get a pick or two, and if you're going to land that spray, it could be good. Schweppes, gets to cover, just about has to put the rifle away and hit the decks to try and get some healing done. Alpha 7 not going to spot it just yet. They see Stone instead. Just dancing around. This guy, happy feet.
Yeah, and I mean, I said that he'd put grease on the soles, but looks like, you know, he switched out the trainers completely for a pair of some ice skates there. So he is really, really making it happen. There's not much ice on this map to be, you know, skating around on, but he makes it look good either way.
I feel like ice skates would potentially be the worst shoe for this sort of terrain.
There's real good grip.
There's no.
Yeah.
That's the entire purpose.
They'll go straight into the sand. He's not going anywhere. He could really plant his feet. It's like having nails on your feet.
And that's what you don't want, surely.
It's like the poor man's crampon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like ice skates are quite expensive.
Yeah, but if you got nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe put a pair on your hands, then you're like...
Yeah, then you're really going for it at that point.
Get up the side of the cliffs. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to handle a weapon.
Yeah, I'll test that. If you don't hear from me, can you please ring a helicopter?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that, certainly. Looks like Vampire Esports have moved a little bit further into their position at this time. Enigma Galaxy not really taking shots. Alpha 7 slowed that engagement with them. Bigatron on the northern side, potentially looking to try and change the path of history and not push onto Vampire's position and take up that spot. Not just yet, anyway. Could change.
It could change. I mean, Zuxi's taking that off angle right now. You can see it. But Vampire Esports, they've managed to get themselves a good lineup. But the next circle about to pop in does head over towards the east side. Falcon's going to be extremely happy with this one, especially considering, you know, they've held this spot for a very long time in this game. They've not had to move. It's one of the main compounds. Should be very nice and looted. They'll have to be running around like Vampire Esports, searching the bodies for the medical equipment. Enigma Galaxy in front of Vampire Esports, you know, they've been harassed by Alpha 7 before, but were able to, you know, get out of dodge fairly quickly. Now Zuxi, this is that off angle we were talking about before, but it's very important that he doesn't go down. Also, dropping the suppressor on board, very important piece of equipment, considering you are on the off angle away from your team. You cannot give away your positioning.
First airdrop was collected, R8 SK10, which does mean, of course, blank. That's some more money for R8. Beautiful stuff. They got first elimination coming on through. First team elimination, not so lucky, but that's 3K so far that they've earned. Starting on 2K, you will definitely take that.
It's going well. If you want to continue to stay up to date with all the money these guys are able to put in the back pocket, you can join in for the PMWI Watch Together. So you can watch together with us in-game over at the Esports Center with your friends to win some PMWI special sets.
And if you want the gun skins and the outfits from the PMWI, there are PMWI packages on sale for a limited time. You can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI.
It's always worth it to crack out the phone and get a little bit of PUBG Mobile done on the fly, perhaps in between, on the breaks. Though the guys on the desk, they are very interesting. Drop some good knowledge, some good jokes. Can't go wrong with that.
Well,
there's some good ones.
Good jokes. There's some good jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some good jokes. Yeah, that's right. Some of them are awful. Horrible jokes.
Did like the explainer. Sometimes you do need an explainer, though, for the desk when it comes to playing basketball. Some interesting tidbits that I'll bring out next game.
I mean, we are all massive nerds here in the broadcast team. So that, I think it's fair enough to try and explain any sort of sporting reference.
I have basketball facts. They're coming up. So you have to wait till the next game to hear about them. So stay tuned here for the Afterparty Showdown.
Oh, I'm excited now. Maybe I'll find out what basketball is. Who is a Kobe?
That's right. Who knows? Very, very famous, though.
Vampire
I think
Esports,
you should know.
That's fair. Vampire Esports quite close to Enigma Galaxy right now. They're down to 2 players as well. Alpha 7, they're in a spot of bother of their own. Bigatron going toe-to-toe with the Titans of this tournament so far. It looks like at the moment Alpha 7 suffering a little bit as Bigatron try and push through, but the blue zone is going to put pressure on this fight. Mafioso down, close to Bigatron's line as they move forwards. Not really going to be able to do too much to save this one. What can the rest of the squad do? As Vampire pepper the back, Freak for Enigma Galaxy holding that out. Zuxi descends from the hillside. Teammates starting to drop, starting to fall. Carrillo and Mythic, 2 players alive for Alpha 7. 2 players still in action for Bigatron, as it is Liquid to go down.
Mesuri trying to push around the side with the UMP in hand. It's not anything yet, but it does force Alpha 7 into an unlucky engagement. But there are shots along the way from Schweppes. And and that'll shut down BTR, but now Alpha 7 suffering from the same angle.
Neither of these teams can go for this engagement under the purview of Sweps. They have to disengage, Zuxi has to heal, and they can't push onto this position. The only option is to push right around this rock and try and engage that way if you don't want to be spotted out there. And that's a really difficult run to make. Both of Alpha 7 now have their sights set on Zuxi. Nades, C4 being thrown on out, and they're trying to put the fear of God into Zuxi.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has to wait a while to get out, and they're just continuing to send utility in. You can see Mythic with one in hand does have a slight rock along his side, so he can play these aggressive angles, and Zuxi just has to bide his time a little bit here. Molotov 2.
With Schweppes going down, that sightline is suddenly freed up for just a little bit. Hopefully, be able to leverage that to move on forwards for Bigatron. Deadeyes, guys. Super close to Carrillo right now. Shots from outside in the blue. Nade, Molotov trying to find a small opening, anything that you can to push on forwards. Taru loves another Molotov. Another bit of pressure. There's Carrillo. Got to get pushed by this blue zone as well. Wants to finish out the threat from the back. Do not want to be harried, but around the side, health bar dwindling. Goes to the shot. It's not going to happen. Set back.
Carrillo dealing with that on the side of the circle there, right on the edge, and somehow Alpha 7 still making it through. You can see D77 though off in the distance. Just dropping the first aid kit in. But Carrillo still has this on lock. Slowly taking out players, but it's Zuxi. Spots him out first. And he's managed to make his way in. The sticky bombs, they were not enough to stop Zuxi. This guy has been on tears before, and he doesn't likely stop anytime soon. Mythic jumping his way into the circle, but D77, that angle that maybe they'd not found out before, sends in the spray, but absolutely whiffs every single shot.
How does he get that 180? How does he survive? And now out of the blue zone, he can turn his attention to that ridge line, needs some crucial shots here to land, and makes it work. What a turnaround for Mythic. But he's the last player standing now for Alpha 7 into this engagement. Nick versus the last remaining player from Riyadh.
It's not over yet for Mythic, though. And with D77 painting a rainbow above his head in bullet marks, I don't know, man. Mythic really shouldn't have got away with that, but blessing his lucky stars right now.
Oh, that's rude. That's a little bit rude, that. Go on.
Trying to get himself back in the action. Riyadh, though, again, doing pretty well here. They got some money off that last game and now starting to try and increase that bank account. Mythic makes the long run across and no one spotted him nor stopped him.
Zuxi's still going as well. But Falcons, I mean, they dominate the zone right now. It's really a question of who comes second in my mind at this stage. Riyadh eliminated. Freak, now the last player. Only 4 other players in this lobby, other than Team Falcons. It's 4v1, v1, v1, v1.
You got a lot of snakes here. Time to team together, take down Falcon, but already they're picking them off one by one.
Mythic and Freak still playing. Around the side, dueling it out. M249 is just too much to handle. Mythic falls. Nick Galaxy stay alive. 3 teams now remain.
Zuxi's chilling. He's looking for that second place. He wants to bump up those points. Currently in 6th, you know, it's not a bad idea when 6 are limbs on his side as well. Good stuff from him. So that's 6 points total. I mean, you can't turn your nose up at that.
Certainly can't. Freak. The M249. Again, trying to push forwards. Really low on meds. No boosters. That health bar is only going to get topped up by the bandages. Zuxi, on the other hand, has a little bit more. Panzer, potentially? No, not going to be seeing it here. Freak eliminated. Now, just Bigatron. 1 versus 4 for Zuxi. I mean, is it going to happen? I don't think so.
It's a cheeky heel off. Now I just want to see Yusuf send that rocket flying.
Let's go.
And just, you see if he can hit him. I don't think he will, but Falcons, with the position, they started here, it's ended here. It's a nice win for them, and they'll take the 10K either way.
If they don't get this elimination, I feel like Bigatron Red Aliens might get most eliminations. If it goes down to the blue zone, potential for them to be pipped to the post. I mean, they'll take the 10K for the chicken dinner, sure, but... Oh, Panzerfaust potentially spotting it. Yusuf He's on the broadside. I think Zuxy's seen it.
Let's send it in. I like the Never Alones there doing the same emote than what they did in their team parade. Send out.
It's true.
Yeah, it's nice stuff. You know, cosplaying as yourself in game. That emote was created for Team Falcons, in fact.
Hells yeah. No more. Only one more first stage. Sorry, I take that back. I apologize. He spotted Damar. He's got to. He's got to have done, right? And now he's going to lie down. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not getting back in. Sticky bomb on the floor. Time to go. See you later, boys.
Boom, boom.
What an ending.
Team Falcons take the chicken dinner on Karakin. Excellent way to earn yourself 10K. You do like those. You do like those.